Yes, we are back. Back again in Train Sim World 2. Back again to look at another new line for me. This time it's Cane Creek. Yeah, I know. I know historically, yes, I love American freight trains. That's why I'm doing it. Anybody that's seen my content before will know my opinion. If you are new to my content, or even if you're not, hello. I really must stop waving. This going out on the YouTubes anyway, on Train Sim World Saturday. I couldn't think of another name. Also the same day of the week that I stream Train Sim World 2. I added a 2 in there, didn't I? Other content is the OMSI on a Monday. On a Wednesday, some other trains in Train Sim Classic. Something on a Friday. And when I've got something new to look at, that goes out on what I call Random Sunday. So plenty of the contents for me. Of course, there'll be links in the doobly-doo below. One to where you can get this DLC for Train Sim World 2. One to where you can watch me live on the Twitchy 6 days a week. I know. And one to the Discord server as well. So good afternoon, pretty much, to Shorty. So yes, not been on this route before, not seen any content on this route before, not even clicked on the little picture. So it's going to take me into something straight away, probably into driving a train that it won't then tell me how to drive, like we had last week. So let's begin, shall we? Oh, it doesn't. Oh, okay, that was a shock. In that case, then, we'll it's going well. In that case, should we do the introduction or should we do the training first? The introduction will take me into a train. I think we should do the... I don't know. It's, I'm really confused. Let's do the introduction. I'm going to do the introduction. It's about to put me... Oh, hello, that's a view.
Welcome to the Cane Creek subdivision. We're currently at the mine in Potash, Utah, which is the largest supplier of traffic on our route.
Route. It's a route, not a route.
Let's begin exploring. Follow the markers down to the tracks.
What? Mark? Oh, okay. So down to the tracks. So the one that takes me over the tracks. Hi, Liam. Okay. There's a train over there. Just in case anyone hadn't spotted it. In case it sort of leapt up on you a bit. There's a train over there.
A train has just finished loading and is about to leave. Let's hop on board and go for a ride.
Woohoo. Train ride. Whoop whoop. Take a seat. How am I supposed to get up there? Oh, up here. Is that a door? No, that's not a door. The door's around here then. Hello, people. I'm just here to take a ride. I'll sit in the seat. Okay, Liam.
There is much to do here on the Cane Creek subdivision. Control heavy tonnage over the rugged and scenically beautiful Cane Creek branch in Utah.
Oh, you can look out the window, I suppose. That's something.
Haul potash from the mine up to the main line, or operate the trains of a uranium mine cleanup site.
Okay, we get choices. Are we just trundling along here? Is that what's happening? It's very nice, very train-like. Of course, being America. Oh.
Journey across open, arid plains and through narrow canyons past towering rock cliffs.
Okay, you just take a long pause now between saying the next sentence. Yeah, driver hidden behind the corner control thing, which I've never quite understood in American trains. I sort of get the logic to it. It just looks a bit odd. Obviously, in the UK, we would have just a flat panel across here. But, you know.
Take control of your train and enjoy the challenges of this scenic branch line.
Okay. So emergency brake valve there. Oh, God, we can actually do a thing with it as well. Let's not touch that. I can open the door. Nice bit of fresh air in.
You've only explored a small area here. What else there is to enjoy. Welcome to Cane Creek.
Maeve, thank you very much for that. 10 months. That's
Experience
awesome.
Utah's rugged canyons and remote desert country as you battle steep grades and haul heavy tonnage with contemporary Union Pacific diesel power. With Skyhook Games Train Sim World 2 Cane Creek. Along the way, don't forget to top up the water dispensers.
Nope.
Pick up spiking hammers.
Nope.
Pick up high visibility vests.
Nope, not doing that.
And place points of interest
Nope.
posters on the point of interest
No.
boards.
No.
Welcome to Cane Creek.
Well, it wasn't 10 minutes, was it? It said it was a 10-minute introduction. Time taken, 3 minutes 22. So I think we need to buy, whoever sets the times up for these scenario things, I think we need to buy them a new watch. I think that needs to be a thing. It's like, yep, that's 10 minutes. No, it was 3 minutes. And I'm sure it's 10 minutes. No, it's definitely 3 minutes. Are you sure? 10-minute introduction, 3 minutes. Right, let's go some train training then. Let's see if these are 10 minutes. I'm not knocking the game, by the way. I love the game. I just find it quite amusing where not just this, but other things that we do where people just don't know how long things last.
To Thompson. In this training module, we'll learn about operating the Union Pacific Electromotive SD40-2. The 6-axle, 3,000 horsepower SD40-2 is one of the most successful diesel locomotives ever constructed, and the type remains in service. Almost all trains on the Cane Creek subdivision use 2 or more locomotives on the head end. We thus have to set up the diesels accordingly as lead and trailing units. Let's start by climbing aboard the trailing unit, which is the one farther to our left.
So one father, Luke, I am your father. Oh, not that sort of father. Okay, we'll climb aboard. All aboard. Up the steps. Through the door. Oh, that's a long way away. Thankfully, I'm only thin. I can fit down there.
Any trailing locomotive must have its control stand disabled
Hang
so
on.
that it can receive commands from the lead unit.
Yeah, I'm trying to open the
Check
door.
that the control, fuel pump, and engine run switch are in the off position.
Yeah, I'm trying to close the door. Can I close the door now? Because we can let it drop. Oh no. Okay, not let me close the door until I do that. All right. Okay. I can't even sit down. Okay, we'll do it standing up then. I close the door now?
Trailing units
Nope.
also need to
Okay.
have their brakes set to cut out in trail 6 or 26. This is the default setting for all running locomotives at scenario start, so we can move on to the lead engine now.
It's a nice looking chair. Can I sit down in the chair? Oh, I can't. No, I've got to go now. I can't even sit down in the chair. Like if it behind here, I can. Right, and I'm allowed to close the door now? Yep, we're okay. Can we cross there? Yes, we can. Oh, no, we can't. Hang on. There we go. Okay, let's go down here then.
This is our lead
Oh, I
engine.
can't close that door.
In other words, the unit will be operating from.
Who are you?
We must thus switch on its controls.
Is that you that's talking? Can I close the door now? Nope. Okay. All right. I'll just stand up then and walk around here again. So do a thing. Generator field, do a thing.
Our engine's controls are now active. Now we need to set the brakes for lead and the cut in to freight, which we can do with the 2 valves on the side of the control stand.
What do you mean we can do? I can do. Well, okay. Lead. Lead. And then... freight. No, not passenger, freight. Okay.
Our 2 engines are now ready to run. Insert the reverser, set it to forward, release the brakes, and apply some throttle.
I'm just going to open some
Then
windows.
drive to the destination marker and stop there.
Just opening some windows. I had a curry last night. So, okay. Oh, hello. That made a noise. Reverse handling. Forward. Oh, hang on. I got up. That was the wrong button. Excuse me. I'll get back down again.
The path to your destination has been set for you in this scenario. Please be aware that there are numerous manual switches on the Cane Creek subdivision, and the engine crew must always ensure the switches ahead are aligned properly for its movements.
Okay, so stop at the location. Place ahead. Oh, hang on, we got the stupid bell thing now, haven't we? How do I turn the bell off? Thank you. I guess we need to come back here and pick up some of these wagon things. I'm never going to remember how to do the turning on of the thing. So yeah, this is one of the routes that I purchased in the Steam sale. Still got a couple more to do that I've not done any content on before. I will in the next few weeks, so do the new DLC for the Isle of Wight, the new modern train thing. You know, do that one. So look out for that. Right, we do some of the idling. I'm hoping it did actually set the... oh, it did. That's fine. So we're going to stop here in Thompson Springs, Y siding. YI siding. That sounds like an English police vehicle. That was odd. I bet it's going to get me to stop here. Actually, no, because this is just the train thing, isn't it? The training. The training of the trains. Shall I say, I wonder if it's going to get me to stop here and then reverse all the way back down there to pick up the thing. The training. The training of the train. I'm also realise I'm going with slowness. Right, we'll do the stoppy down here where it's telling me to stop. To find out what the brakes are like. Normally with these American freight things, you're not going fast enough to need really good brakes. Oh, was that it? Okay, hi Len. So again, 10-minute training, 7 minutes 45. Can someone buy Dovetail a new watch, please? Is that a thing we can do? Someone just chip together. Just put some sort of, you know. Sure, they can't be that hard up. They can't afford to buy a decent watch. Right, now the training on the... Oh, God, this looks complicated, doesn't it? The GEAC thing. The other train. GEAC 4400CW. That one.
Welcome to Potash. In this training module, we'll learn about operating the Union Pacific General Electric AC4400 CW. The big AC4400 CW is an example of state-of-the-art U.S. diesel locomotives with 4,400 horsepower and AC traction. You'll be the engineer of the 2-unit lash-up right in front of you. Let's begin by preparing the units for service.
Whatever, environment meal or
Almost all trains on the Cane Creek subdivision use 2 or more locomotives on the head end. We thus have to set up the diesels accordingly as lead and trailing units. Let's start by climbing aboard the trailing unit, which is the one farther to our left.
a sense of deja vu going on here. Deja vu. We've done this before. Hi Daz, I'm doing good, thank you. I'm in quite a random mood today, so watch out. Okay, up the steppy things. Hop, hop, hop. Down the path to the door. Open the door.
Any trailing locomotive must have its control stand disabled so that it can receive commands from the lead unit.
This looks posh.
Check that the control, fuel pump, and engine run switch are in the off position.
Am I allowed in here? So I should be wearing slippers.
Trailing units must also have their brakes set to cut out and trail. This is the default setting for all running locomotives at scenario start, so we can move on to the lead locomotive now.
Can we? Are you sure about that? Oh, I can. No, okay. I'll go right here then. So you couldn't have a fat person working on American Railways because they wouldn't get in the cab, would they? Like, yeah, you can have the job if you can fit through that door. I'm gonna go across the thing. No, don't put the okay, no, fine. I won't go across there then. I'll just go down here. And then up here. There we go. Right.
This is our lead engine.
Oh, I can't shut the door.
The unit
Hello.
will be operating
Good morning.
from. We must thus switch on its control.
How are you doing? Oh, hang on, I've got to do the thing. Bear with me. Switch on the thing. The thing. What am I switching on? Switching on the thing.
Our engine's controls are now active.
Are they?
Now we need to set the brakes for lead and cut in,
You
which
don't
we
need-
can do on any one of the 3 screens located on the control desks.
Oh God. I mean, you can do it. Can I do something else? Can you do that? Can I do some? Okay. No. Tell you what. You just sit there. Tell you what, I'll do it. Can I sit down? Oh, that thing. The what? Set the brake. I pressed the button. I'm just pressing what you're telling me to press now. I don't know actually what I'm doing. That's a lot of button pressing going on.
Our 2 units are now ready to go to work.
Are they?
Set the reverser forward, release the brakes, and apply a little throttle. Then carefully proceed to the destination marker and stop there.
Forward. Release the brakes.
The path to your destination has been set for you in this scenario. Please be aware that there are numerous manual switches on the Cane Creek subdivision, and the engine crew must always ensure the switches ahead are aligned properly for its movements.
It's going to go badly. Okay, I've got to say, I think I prefer the other. This one feels a bit more open. So obviously we can see more, which is good, and see our ignorant co-driver, the bloke, the co-person, the talkative person. Go out the window now as well. Oh, I am doing a speeding thing here. Sure, it's a bloke. Person. We can't judge. Okay, so there's an issue there, isn't there? Can anybody do maths? Or math if you're American. We've been streaming, and this video, if you're watching this on the YouTubes, has been going 21 minutes and 44 seconds, okay? The first introduction, 10 minutes. Second training, 10 minutes. Third training, 10 minutes. How have we done those in 21? And my introduction's a minute. And we talked about things for a little while. Just putting it out there as being a thing. Right, so let's have a look at the scenarios then. Thompson to 7 mil. That seems a thing, isn't it? Sign with a potash local today. Your train is longer than usual and some extra work awaits you along the way. 80 minutes. I should do it, shouldn't it? That should be fine. Thompson to 7 mil. Trains involved. The train. Let's do that then. Straight into it. Straight with a scenario. Part 1. Gets part 1 apparently. Thompson to 7 mile. 7 mil. I call it 7 mil. You have clearance subject to signal indications to proceed west on the Green River subdivision to Brendor and enter the Cane Creek sub. You are granted track warrant authority to work the branch between Brendor and Potash with the work en route. Dispatcher out. Okay, so are we set? Dynamic brakes off. Reversers forward. Throttle is idle. Automatic brake is on service. Independent brake is released. That's on... Go via Cane Creek in 17 of the miles. Okay, in theory then, we should just be able to. Hopefully, get the thing moving. You reckon the brake pressure hasn't quite released yet? I should wait. Hang on. Let's keep her on the brake pressure then. Okay, so if I release the brakes. And that's as far as it's going to go, is 90. It's a good start. Let's leave it in 3. Come on, train. You can do it. There we go. Patience. Because, wow, okay. Yeah, I think we're quite long. I'm just going to come over here and open your window. Thank you. Right, so we got to stop in or go via 17 miles. Slowly doing the accelerator is. We got a yellow light in 2.2 miles. Almost sound like a bit of wheel slip there. Right, give it the beans. Well, it's only a go via, isn't it? So you've got to go via Cane Creek approach, stop at 7 Mile, uncouple vehicles, stop at 7 miles, dial in, open all hoppers, and couple. Oh god, so I think we got to do some slow formation stuff. It's getting up to speed quite nicely. I think it's because we've got a 1% downhill grade. Right, I have to pry a little bit of brake then. Just to try and maintain our speed. And I think if it's going to be a 17-mile descent, we're going to be on and off the brakes. It's that yellow that's worrying me, because if that then becomes a red, we've got to try and bring this thing to a stop. Hopefully there's something in front of us that's also moving. A bit more brake. Okay, we've got a yellow in 2.4 miles. I only got a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit. Actually, no, yellow isn't 2.4 miles. That's a flashing yellow. Yellow in 2 miles. Okay. So we got 2 miles to bring this thing down to 25 miles an hour. I just got to speed. That's a better thumbnail. Right, 45 miles an hour. I think this is quite good. We're slowing down slowly. Probably a bit too much, but we're okay. Yeah, after the disaster we had last time, doing the French one, that never made it to YouTube. I want it to be in something diesel this time, because at least diesel's relatively easy. Next time it's back to passenger operation. I say I might try and do the Isle of Wight in the new train next time. Right, 1.2 miles to our 25-mile-an-hour limit. And for those watching live, back tonight for some farming, a weekly dose of farming, and then tomorrow lunchtime, going to be starting again in Tourist Bus Sim on console. Not going to be something that I will then carry on console. I don't end up being a console streamer, but I just wanted to look at it on console just to see what it's like compared to the PC version that I've been doing for years. So I'm going to take a look at that tomorrow lunchtime. And then back next week with some OMSI on Tuesday. It's Train Sim Classic on Wednesday. Thursday, going to look at another new game, Sonority. Friday, going to do some Wreckfest. Saturday lunchtime, more Train Sim World 2. Next Saturday night, more farming. And next Sunday lunchtime, something else. Right, so let's put a bit more brake on. So just realised we got this 25 limit coming up. Okay, the brakes are actually slowing us down okay. Right, let's release the brakes. Okay, we definitely over-braked. Wow, you can just about see the back of the train. That's a long way back there. I'm guessing it's only slowing us down to 25 for these points, maybe? Yeah, switching tracks. So you've got 16 miles to go in that general direction over there. There's definitely something got to be said for the American freight stuff. You know, I like the audio of it. I'm just not a fan of freight anyway. But I know for some people it's quite relaxing, quite chilled, and this does actually look really nice. And you know, the quality of the locos is actually very nice. I'm just a fan of diesel passenger runs. That's my niche. So I hope it's not 25 miles an hour now for the next 16 miles, because it's not giving me a distance to the next speed change or anything. It's a shame about my very soulless and hairless co-worker. Just sat chilled, quite happy. Okay, a little bit of brake, get down to that 25 again. Yeah, this sort of stuff is definitely the thing you can do if you just want to come on and chill. You know, passenger runs can be quite hectic. A lot of speed changes going on, a lot of sort of starting, stopping, the opening and closing of doors, etc. At least freight stuff, when you've got a long trek to do like this, it's actually quite chilled. And Train Sim World 2 does look really nice. It does seem as though this is going to be 25 miles an hour for the next 15 miles though, and mainly downhill. So we had a good run initially, thinking, oh okay, it's not going to be too bad, well, you know, 50, 60 miles an hour. No, it lulled me into a false sense of security. I was lulled. And again, this is what it mainly is. Again, not a complaint, but a lot of the American freight runs are just ticking over. It's like, yeah, you throttle up and then it just ticks over, which still, to me, makes me wonder why we've got 3 engines. If this was in the UK, it's a long train. It's not an overly long train. We probably have 1. Americans, no, we need 3. Gonna have that built-in redundancy. And it's, you know, it's a big engine, but it only puts out like 3 horsepower, so you've got to have 3 of them. Okay, more braking. Yeah, we've got no speed limit change, we've got no signal. So our next thing is in 14 miles time. I think it'd be more of a challenge coming back up this hill. Yeah, like out here, you couldn't really run electric, could you? You know, you couldn't run overhead. So I get why they're diesel. I just don't understand why they've got 3 of them. If they're, what is it, 4,400 horsepower each. Yeah, but don't Amtrak rent the bits of line they use, which is why Amtrak trains give way to freight trains. Because freight's more important. Right, still got 14 miles to go. More of the braking. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't put French in there. German I sort of understand. I quite like the Swiss stuff, the one of obviously the stuff I've done virtually. But obviously being from the UK, I sort of, well, I pretty much do understand the UK system now. I didn't at first. So why is the lights? Why are you flashing? What's with the 2 and the 1 and the yellow and the red? It probably is why it's an 80-minute scenario. It's probably only about 20 miles. That's fine. Nice and chilled. I'm just coming on off the brakes here. But I really do like the variety we've got now in Train Sim World 2. You know, from intense passenger stuff to this and stuff in between, you know, the heritage slow speed stuff. It's started off as obviously Train Sim World that I wasn't impressed with to something I really like now. The 120 moot, the 120-minute route is probably the same bit of track, just even, probably the reverse, uphill, because you can't go as fast. It's probably going from that end to this end. So I should imagine this is a full line run. It does look good. You've got to admit it does look good. I don't still find the US system confusing as far as signals, etc. Although, yeah, I think the British system's really simple as far as signalling. The French system is just ridiculous. It's like the French railway signalling system was invented by Citroën. Why have something simple when you can overcomplicate it? Still got 13 miles to go. So that's our go via. That's not even our stop. That's our go via. Single track, 12 miles now. Well, he says there's been no shunting so far. I don't know why it's 25 miles an hour. It just seems an odd speed. It's not like there's severe bends. You know, we've just gone round the, well, it's a very straight bit there. It's almost just a straight bit of track. Why are we only doing 25 miles an hour? Because it's single, maybe because it's single track. Yeah, pretty much heartwarming. Double yellows, you might slow down in a bit. Yellows, you should really think about slowing down. Red, you need to stop here. Green, go, go, go. Flashing yellows, something's going to happen up ahead. AWS, really annoying. That's pretty much the UK system. We treat our traffic lights the same. Green is go, go, go. Yellow is put your foot down. Red, stop. Oh God, we got to bend. Are we going to cope? Are we going to derail? Red, proceed at speed. And when we do trucking, red lights definitely optional. Oh God, another bend. Better slow down. What's going on there? Bit of construction stuff going on. Well, some construction equipment abandoned. Still going downhill as well. It's all downhill from here. So what do we got to do? We got to go, let's have a look. So go via Cane Creek, stop at 7 Mile, uncouple vehicles, all cars behind the open hoppers, stop at 7 Mile siding, uncouple vehicles, all open hoppers, stop at 7 Mile E and couple to the formation. So I've got a bit of fiddling about to do when we get there. 11 miles. I should imagine these things are very fuel efficient. But at least just by coasting, we're actually saving some fuel. Yeah, achievement unlocked. You've driven a train. There's a shocker. Repair a fence? No. Replace fire extinguishers? No. Rescue cats from trees? No. Drive trains? Yes. $10 miles to go. Oh god, I better start thinking about braking and slowing down. I'm doing good, thank you. Had a very chilled out morning so far. Binge watching content on a new YouTube video, a new YouTube channel I found. Should have been doing housework. No. Yeah, normally you're in a car, you're like doing that train chasing thing. Like, how slow is that car going if it's only just catching up with us? He must be doing like 30. Yeah, 27 degrees in my PC room currently. I've got to be going uphill now. That changed. Power. Yeah, 27 degrees in my PC room, 42% humidity currently. I should have mowed the lawn this morning. It's like, no. Right, back downhill again. That was a bit of excitement, having to climb up over that little tiny ridge. Yeah, so doing Tourist Bus on console tomorrow. Hopefully the audio is better than it was when I streamed Gran Turismo yesterday. I've now set it to stereo on the PS5 rather than 5.1. I think that may have been the issue. We will see tomorrow. I played this on console just to see what it was like. Not a fan. Looks the same. Just the control system is really weird. When you spent years in this using keyboard and mouse, to have to use an Xbox controller, it wasn't very intuitive to me. It was like, so you know, the two buttons on the right, trigger buttons. One was throttle up, one was throttle down, on the left was brake up, brake down. Whereas to me, obviously from a racing game point of view, you're used to having accelerate on the right, brake on the left. So I thought it had been a combination of, like, I don't know, it just felt really weird. I will stream it in a few weeks on the console, on the rush hour thing, just as a comparison. Alright, we've still got 8.8 miles to go. I used the reward. I used the reward. I used the horn. I got reward for using the horn. It's an odd thing to reward you for. Yeah, I can definitely see now why this is an 80-minute scenario. Should have maybe chosen something else, but it's fine. It's probably all we'll do is this and the training. At least going up hills, giving us stuff to do. Well, just set the throttle on number 3. It doesn't notice any difference to the weather. I'll go drop it at 24. Yeah, it's definitely chilled as a route and a scenario. No, train's fine. It's just a case of just set the throttle and sit back and relax. You can just about make out the engines right up the front there, so we're fairly long. It's a shame in this, really, it didn't give you information like the weight of your train, so you could see how much you were hauling. I think that would be quite interesting. Right, an extra notch of throttle now, 1.1% grade up. No, it doesn't have cruise control. But at these sort of speeds, it's quite easy to stay under the speed limit, isn't it? Could even push it to number 5. Does sound good. I've got to give them that. It does sound good. Hi, Hillsman. Alright. Oh no, 23 miles an hour. We'll be done speeding soon. Yeah, it's definitely an undulating route. We like a bit of undulation. Oh, we're back it off. That speed was getting ridiculous. Yeah, I did have to refill my orange before the stream because I drank it all last night on Gran Turismo. Just about to start streaming, I was like, ah! 7 miles to go. So if this would have been I still don't understand why it's 25 miles an hour on this track, but anyway. So if this would have been like a 50, 60 mile an hour, we'd have been there in about 20 minutes. This would have probably been a 35-minute scenario. But it's fine. Nice and chilled. My miles are rocketing by. I can't keep up with them. I was contemplating getting up at 4 AM because it was like starting to get bright. Still got a road running by us. I imagine it's quite easy for the engine drivers on these sort of stretches because the only thing you've got to watch out for, I suppose, is things crossing the track. And if it's a small animal, well, it's going to come off worse, isn't it? Baby elephant or rhinoceros or something wanders onto the track, you know, you might think about slamming the brakes on. But these things would probably take a mile or so to stop if you went into emergency brake because it'll just slide because of all the weight behind you. Speed's holding quite nicely, 23 miles an hour. What about kangaroo? That'd just hop off, can't it? Yeah, that got held by the bot there, Hillsman, because you can't spell the word like. I wasn't hot, I just don't lie in. A lie-in for me on a Saturday is 6 AM. Right, downhill grade now, bit of braking. What? Okay, me and you really need to talk about the whole mod thing, Shorty. You can't just approve every word that Nightbot blocks. You denied it, did you? Oh, okay, in that case, my humblest apologies. I don't know why the mod caught it. Nightbot caught it. It could be slang for something, I don't know. There's obviously a reason it got caught. How far we got to go? 5.5 miles. Oh god, I'm starting to panic now about the whole stopping thing. Oh god, it's brakes. There we go. Just 23 miles an hour is fine. We don't want to go ridiculous now because People get nosebleeds to go any faster than that, although we haven't got any passengers really, have we? Oh, there's a thing round there. I see a structure in the distance. There's a tall thing round there. It's definitely a weird speed limit. 25 mile an hour. Oh, braking. Ah, okay. Well, yeah, I'm glad we blocked it then. Right, 4.7 miles to go. Imagine if you're a train waiting at the other end. It's a good thing this isn't a passenger service, isn't it? Because it's a really long section of single track. So there can't be many trains a day that use this line. Because it's the amount of time it takes you to get up and down it. If it's like 45 minutes of single track, that's going to restrict you on to how many trains you can send up and down the line. And I bet this won't be 80 minutes, because so far their timings have been completely wrong. So in theory, it was what? First lot took 25 minutes. So an hour and 45, this should be finished. Well, that's what happens. That's what was said earlier. On American railroads, freight takes priority. So if you're waiting on a passenger train, so if you're waiting on an Amtrak train, or if you're on an Amtrak train, and there's freight either coming past you or coming the other way, the Amtrak train will wait in a siding. So you will sit there and wait while the freight train goes through. That structure is over there to our right. Yeah, he will be waiting a long time. Well, I'm guessing 3.8 miles is where we're going to go from single track. Yeah, there might be sections where Amtrak runs on single though. I know mainly it's double, but there must be sections of track where it runs on single. But I was using that as an example, that if you're waiting for a long train on track like this, where it's 25 mile an hour and quite long, you'd be waiting a while. .4 to go. Yeah, it's definitely a thing over there. Yeah, one of the things on my bucket list is to do the Amtrak trip from Chicago to LA. It's like 2 days. Just my idea of absolute heaven. Just sat for 2 days on a train looking out the window. It'd just be bliss. Braking. Right, 3 miles to go. Downhill gradient is becoming less. That's definitely some sort of structure over there. Airport, maybe? That's supposed to be like a control tower. Oh god, 2.7 miles. I better start thinking about braking. Could be Area 51. I don't know where Cane Creek is. And Potash is. I don't know whereabouts in America. I'm guessing Midwest, but it's quite flat. Our gradients, oh no, I was about to say our gradients becoming less now, but Utah near Moab. Oh, okay. That's why it looks a bit like this then. Desolate, I think is the word. .2 miles. Well, 2.2 miles is our go via. So after that, something else will happen. So I'd almost put money on the fact this isn't going to be 80 minutes. Although it's taken us 40 minutes to get this far, I think. Yeah, definitely not the most high-speed route I've done. Two miles to go. A little bit of braking. She hasn't been that bad. Quite chilled. It's a very long, well, it's probably not a long stretch of single track, but it feels like a long stretch of single track because of the speed. No, we did the horseshoe curve, and I've done Boston Sprinter recently, I think. Quite like Boston Sprinter. I like the Harlem line as well. That's quite good. Yeah, I think you can, Hillsman. I had a sausage sandwich. That definitely beats that. Right, mile and a half. Horseshoe curve. Yeah, a whole route about one curved bit of track. Sand patch. To be honest, as much as this is really well done, it's nice and chilled, probably some really good scenarios, I'm just not a fan of freight full stop. An American freight, just not at all. It doesn't do anything for me. But I wanted to look at this just to see what it's like, but it's pretty much the same American freight trains you drive in every other American freight scenario or route, just in a different location. But hey, I wanted to do it because I haven't done anything on it, and it does complete my set of every DLC available for Train Sim World 2. Or every route available for Train Sim World 2, not every DLC. Right, less than a mile to go now. Engine still just ticking over, or starting to slow down. Oh no, thought it's starting to slow down then. Half a mile to go. Right, 800 yards. So this is our go via point. There is one in Florida. There's the Miami one in there. Is there one in Miami? Right, 400 yards. Just hope now it doesn't suddenly tell me to stop. Well, that was a thing. Okay, we have to set our 10 empty stone hoppers at the siding at 7 Mile. Let's stop on the main line track to begin our work there. Okay, stop at 7 Mile in 4.2 miles. So yeah, we will end once we finish this scenario. And I might start, in fact I will start the farming a little bit earlier than planned. I think this would have been more a challenge going the other way. because we've just been coasting and applying the brakes occasionally. But it does look really nice. I gotta give them that. Yes, no ducky. I don't think he'll be back in time for next week either. So it'll be the week after next before he appears on the farm again. So I don't think he's back until next Sunday. Alright, 3.7 miles to go. So yeah, tonight back with some farming, probably for 6 o'clock, maybe just before. Tomorrow lunchtime, my first look at Tourist Bus on console. And then back on Tuesday night with some OMSI in the bus company. Wednesday, some Train Sim Classic. Not sure what route. Oh yeah, we're doing Pacer, aren't we? Yeah, a repeat of my birthday Pacer run in Train Sim Classic tomorrow, Wednesday. Thursday night, going to be a look at Sonority. Friday night will be some Wreckfest. Next Saturday lunchtime, a look at one of the other routes I haven't done in Train Sim World 2. Next Saturday night, more farming. And next Sunday afternoon, something. Alright, so we've got 3.4 miles till we got to stop. London to Edinburgh in a Pacer. Done that. Actually, no, that's this year's Christmas one. London to Edinburgh in a Pacer, not stopping at every stop. And doing good, thank you. Which is probably going to be the last one of those. But yeah, it will be Pacer on Wednesday. A 90-minute trip to do. You can't do, yeah, you can't do it in one go. Otherwise, that would have been quite cool to do. All right, 2.9 miles. Then we got to do the stopping thing, and then decoupling thing, and then recoupling thing. We're the other side of the road now. Yeah, the spot that we changed sides. Yeah, they may do it IRL, but it doesn't mean you can do it in Train Sim. It'd be like saying, why don't you do a bus route, I don't know, across Swindon in OMSI? Because they do it in real life. Well, if it was available within the sim, you can do it. So if it's not available in Train Sim, you can't do it. It's the same thing. Right, we're on flat ground now, so I've got to give it a bit of oomph. Finally, get to apply some power after like an hour of coasting. Actually, I'm glad we did apply some power because we're going slightly uphill now as well. Two miles to go. Lots of smoke. We like that. We approve of that. Still think having 3 engines is stupid, but we approve of the smoke. Right, 1.7 miles. We got to do the stopping, even the stopping thing, and then the uncoupling and recoupling and moving and shunting and shifting about thing. Definitely putting it under a bit of load now. Yeah, I saw the speed limit thing. Wow, yeah, we are quite long, aren't we? So that's the empty hoppers we've got to dump. Yeah, so the row of empty hoppers behind us is the ones we've got to uncouple in a mile. Normally I'd be panicking at sort of point 8, thinking, right, I need to start applying the brakes, or coasting, applying the brakes, slowing down. Not so much with this, we're doing 22 miles an hour. Shouldn't take much to stop us. Okay, down there is where we got to stop. So why there? I know we've got some tracks going off down. Oh, I see, there's a siding. So I'm guessing we got to leave. Why would you leave them on the main line? That seems a bit weird. So we've got to leave these empty hoppers on the main line. And stop. Now you have to uncouple all the cars behind the 10 stone hoppers. I'm guessing that's a me thing then. Yeah. No, it's fine. You just sit there. I've got this. You just sit there. I'll do it. No, you've had a hard morning. You just stay there. Right, so we've got to uncouple all the cars behind the open hoppers. And I'm guessing move the open hoppers out of the way, then come back and get the rest of the thing. Do. I know I could run, but, you know, I'm on work's time. Why should I run? Thought I was moving for a minute then. Okay, so... not climb over. I want to do the uncoupling thing. Why is it telling me to climb up a ladder? Will I do it from up here? It's not letting me uncouple. That's because I was putting the wrong thing. What the hell's that thing appeared in there now? These 10 stone hoppers are to be spotted on the siding right next to us. Ensure the manual switches are aligned. I just put a thing on there now, look. That's a thing. Right, so I've got to go and put the switch. There we go. We'll run back now. So we've got to go and put these there. So we've got to pull forward. Let's make sure that these... Oh, we should be fine going forward anyway, shouldn't we? It's just going to be the coming backwards thing, isn't it? Yeah, so we've got to switch these. So we could go forward. And then we've got to switch them to come back. Okay, right, let's do that. See, my co-pilot guy could have got out and done that, couldn't he? Let's go this side. You alright? Still quite happy, chilled there, are you? Okay. Right, so pull those empty hoppers forward. So we got to pull them clear of this thing. So wait for the back of those to clear and then we'll stop. And then we're going to shove them back into the siding. I reckon that'll do it. No, it's fine. You stay there again. I'll go and do it. Shouldn't really got out of the seat while the train was still moving, I should imagine. But hope we've gone far enough forward now. Oh yeah, miles forward. Okay, pull the thing. No, that was right. Junction left. Was that correct then? I don't know. Alright, let's run back again. Get back on board. Up steps. Sit in the thing. Okay, this time reverser into reverse. Brakes to off. And backwards we go. At a whopping 3.5 miles an hour. So I'm guessing we've maybe got to go forward again and grab the other ones. Just can't just leave them there on the main line, can we? Right. Shove those down there. and see what it wants me to do next. Lucky there's no cars coming. They'd be really annoyed, wouldn't they? Because this crossing would have been down for absolutely ages while I'm mucking about, dragging stuff backwards and forwards. Slight uphill grade going backwards as well. Yeah, it's a bit in the middle of nowhere, isn't it? It'd be just your luck though, wouldn't it, if you were driving along here and you got caught by the train. Nearly came to a stop. That'll do. Uncouple, open hoppers. Okay, no, I've got this. You sit there. Okay, down steps. Let's now recouple to the rest of our train again. Okay. So we got to go sit in the seat. So we need to go reverser forward. So just 3 engines now. Forward to there, then go back and change the points, and then go back and connect to the rest of the train. Crossing comes down again. Well, at least it didn't stay down. Right, let's stop up here. Right, couple to the rest of my train. Well, first of all, I've got to go and change the pointy things again, haven't I? Otherwise, we'll go back down to where we just were. So grab that. There you go. We now go straight on. Back to there. Sit down. Reversey into reversey. Off for the brakes. And go backwards. and couple up to the rest of the, well, the other bit of the train that we dropped off. Nice and slowly. I don't know if it's then going to get me to do anything with these. I think it finished there. Thankfully, or hopefully, there wasn't another train waiting to come down because we blocked the track. There we go, slightly uphill, so that's going to help with the coupling. Objective complete. Oh, actually, it's supposed to be 180 minutes. That was actually pretty close time-wise. Maybe because I faffed about a little tiny bit. So, yeah, that was right. 80 minutes, not 180 minutes. 80 minutes. So, that was right. There we go. Yeah, not bad. So, American Freight isn't really my thing. But that was actually quite well done. Let's get some audio back in the menu. There we go. It was actually quite well done. Next time, it's got some other ones we haven't done before. I think the Arosa line, I think we'll do next time because I haven't done that yet either. So electric. So we'll do that, and I think there's a couple of others. I don't think I've done the Munich to Augsburg. I'll have to have a look and see which ones I got more recently. There's definitely a couple I haven't done yet that I purchased in the Steam sale. But yeah, that was, if I get back to it now, I've lost it. There we go. Cane Creek is what we've just done. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. So yeah, next week, the one I've just said. That one. That's it though. Tonight, back probably 6 o'clock with some farming on our MP farm. Tomorrow lunchtime, my first look at Tourist Bus starting again on console to see what it's like starting from the very, very beginning of Tourist Bus on console. And then back on Tuesday with some OMSI. Going to be doing Bad Hogglesdorf. Wednesday will be Train Sim Classic in a Pacer. Thursday will be Sonority. Friday, Wreckfest. Saturday lunchtime, the one I've just mentioned, Arosa line. Next Saturday night, more farming. Next Sunday, something. So that's what's to come in the next 7 days. So my thanks to you lot then.
Oh, yeah.
And thanks to CMD. That's a name. We'll call you CMD. Or Commander Melke. Could be Commander. Possibly. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, thanks to you lot in chat then for keeping me company throughout this one. And thanks to these people as well. To Crispy, okay, Crispy, Nightbot, and Shorty for doing no moderation. To Commander Melk for following, and Mafe for resubscribing. Thank you very much indeed. I will be back with potentially maybe one or more idiots for some farming tonight at 6. Until then, if you have been, thanks very, very much for watching.